Hello Galactic family. As Saul told them, huge changes are underway for all of humanity and on planet Earth. These changes are an essential part of the process of awakening, of becoming truly aware that they are all one with Source, Mother/Father/God, Divine Intelligence, Divine Wisdom, all that is. There is no separation. Separation is an illusory concept, imagined and constructed out of nothingness to produce a very convincing physical environment in which the infinitely small and the infinitely vast appear, interact, and at the same time seem to be completely unaware of each other's presence. It's like a huge game of hide and seek in which you have chosen to hide from God and yourself. The child of God in his games that went out of control and, appearing to the child to be dangerous and terribly real. And a horrible nightmare of his own creation unfolded, which then seemed to enfold it within him, separating it from himself and from God. Imagining very quickly, separating what can never be separated is a terrible thought. However, having constructed the illusion to make it seem very real, fear was reduced in intensity by being denied and hidden. As human beings, the fear they experience in the most terrible conditions illusion can present to them is as nothing compared to the fear that the separation from the Source would induce. That's why they chose to be asleep. There is a deep and underlying belief that God would want to destroy them by separating and trying to prove to themselves that they did not need Him. But fear is unreal, only love exists. All else is illusion, a very terrible nightmare of which they will soon awaken. And when they do, they will delight in knowing that only love exists and is engaging them at all times in their eternal existences. Love is everything. As humans, it is very difficult to understand this divine truth because the illusory environment they have built with their original powers of God seems completely real to the small human form they have chosen to inhabit to experience separation. Remember that, by far, they are much wider than the universe in which they seem to have their small, and therefore insignificant, existences. The universe has existed for billions of years, while most humans live less than 100 years, so it seems they cannot leave the slightest mark or impression on it. This is a very disturbing thought that most of you would rather not address because it is extremely uncomfortable for most to maintain a continual awareness of their seemingly insignificant insignificance. But, of course, none of you are or can be in any way insignificant because you are one with the Source and are infinitely significant as God's beloved children. However, there are those who choose to enter in the hope of finding answers, and can calm their minds and listen, find peace, comfort, which leads to an awareness that there is much more to life, to existence than to presented by the physical environment in which their human lives live. It grows in consciousness that they really are far more vast than anything their minds and human bodies can feel, that life is in fact infinite, whereas everything in the physical environment eventually disintegrates into nothingness, from which they imagine to have a momentary existence. The complete and total contrast between the physical environment in which their human lives live and the reality in which they have been created and from which they have never gone, goes far beyond their human capacities to conceive and of which they can have absolutely no idea what waiting for them when they wake up. Some have had glimpses through near-death experiences, feeling the intensity, power, and unconditional acceptance that love offers in a continuous and everlasting way as they expand their human forms into the vastness of that love. And by sharing it, they give a gift of great value to those who have heard or read about their experiences. As human beings, they need to focus on themselves as the love that has taken a temporary human form. When you focus on love, your true nature, and intend to know Him, to be, to extend and share Him with all you interact with. Intensify the energy field of love, the life force that strengthens your human forms, that flows through of you out in your surroundings at all times, helping to bring about the essential changes that will heal the planet and all the forms of life it supports. They incarnated at this time only, for this purpose, knowing full well that the memory of their intentions would be difficult to be accessed and put into practice. However, they also knew that they would be lovingly and powerfully aided at all times by their support team in the spiritual realms. You must call it daily and redefine your intentions, and that is why daily recollection is so important, and open your hearts to the field of love in which you are involved. Your human forms can block love or allow it to happen. When they judge, blame or engage with the need to be right, they effectively block love by choosing a state of separation from others. When you open to others, accepting, loving and forgiving, open your hearts, allowing that love flows more abundantly through you on your journey of healing. These were your intentions before the incarnation, and when you accept that it is for this that you are on earth, to do and allow love to then expand abundantly outward through you wherever it is needed, you will feel your energy increase, inspire them, to the extent that peace and containment replaces their fears and anxieties. Keep the light on high. That is what they came to do, because it is necessary. In doing so, they make a huge difference, leaving a very significant and lasting impression on the world and on everyone they interact with. Your loving brother, Jesus.